I want to bring up one thing that happened because this is December when I'm telling you guys this of my junior year
Is
of
that
college.
2023?
I believe so. It's 2023.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
2023.
Yeah.
So this is my junior year in December when I'm suspended and I'm at home. But I had kind of my first kind of crazy thing happen that ever happened in my life with God that October. So I was in my bed back over here, um, just sleeping one night, getting ready to sleep, going to bed. And I had these, like I said, I was living wild. So I had these Playboy posters in my room. Y'all know the posters with like the swim models on them and stuff, right? So I had a couple of those hanging up in my room. Well, I had one on like my left wall, and I was asleep one night, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and this is my first time ever having this. I now know it is sleep paralysis,
Yeah.
but I've never had this before.
Yeah.
So I wake up in the middle of the night. It's like 2 a.m. and I can't move, and I'm like, okay, this is very strange. But I can move my eyeballs. So I look over to my left, and out of my poster with the swim model on it, I see a black shadowy figure emerge from the poster, and it's coming directly towards me. It's coming directly towards me. Mind you, I'm freaking out at this point because I can't move, but I see this thing coming, and I'm scared, and I'm not in the spirit. I have no idea about any of this stuff. So when this thing's coming at me, I'm just freaked out. I'm like, it's done. And in a last ditch effort, I'm telling you, this black shadowy figure is coming towards me. And I just call out in the name of Jesus. Like I said, that deep thing that was in me, I just say, Jesus, help me. In an instant, it vanishes and I can move.
Dude.
So you would think, because mind you, this is in October, you would think if anybody else was sane when that happened, they would fully have given their life to Jesus then. But that wasn't me. I called my mom that night and I was freaking out. I'm like, Mom, you're not gonna believe what happened. Like, this is crazy. I called on Jesus and this thing went away. But really, the next day I was kind of back to my normal thing. But deep down, I felt that. I didn't forget that. So fast forward back to where we were. I'm suspended. I'm home. I'm partying, doing everything again. Well, there's one night where I go to hang out with one of my friends. Now, this particular friend of mine smoked a lot of weed. I can say that
Yeah,
on here?
dude.
Yes.
Dude, you can say
Okay,
anything.
okay,
This is like, we don't care.
okay. This particular friend of mine smoked a lot of weed. Like, this dude was a stoner. Like, he smoked a lot of weed. Like, I smoked every now and then. This dude was smoking every day. I'm not judging him. I'm just
Yeah.
telling the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
So he was I would if I was back home and I wanted to smoke for free, I would just be like, yo, I'm gonna hit this dude up. Like, and I just smoke with him because he's gonna smoke anyway. So one night I'm like, look, bro, let's get into these plans tonight. We're gonna go hang out with these girls. We're gonna do a bunch of stuff tonight, but first, let's smoke together. Like, so he's like, bet. So we had a little system. He would come pick me up, we drive somewhere, probably grab some food, and we smoke. So we're getting ready to smoke. But like I believe Christmas was either because this matters. Christmas had either just passed or it was coming up. But this dude got a strand. This is the crazy part about my testimony because I don't advise people to do this, right? But how I came to Christ was just it just happened how it happened. But so I'm with this guy and we're sitting in his car and he's like, bro, I got some really good stuff today. And I'm like, okay, dude, like, let's just smoke. He's like, no, like, I got some really good stuff today. And I'm like, okay, what's so special about this? Because he was so excited to tell me about this weed he had. And he said, my mom got me some like special weed for Christmas. He said, which when he said that, that should have just been my signal to just run. But so he tells me this, he's like, whatever 0%, whatever, I don't even know what these different strands have and stuff, but he tells me it's 0% something and the THC is something else. So I'm like, whatever, bro, light it up. Like, he's like, okay, but he told me this and I'll never forget it. He said, when you hit this, you'll never be the same. And like, once again, that like when you're hearing stuff like this, if I heard somebody say something like that to me today, I'm like, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. But at that time, I'm like, okay, I don't want to, I hate my reality right now. So you know what? Let's do it. So I end up smoking with him. And all I remember kind of after I smoked with him is in like the next 5 minutes, I was like out of it. He was talking to me about something and I couldn't really make out what he was saying. I was just looking at him and I was sitting there like, you know, what are we even, where am I even at? What's going on? And he was like, yo, 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 like, I got to take you home, bro. You're not looking too good. You got to go home, kind of sober up a little bit, and then we'll go do our rest of the plans for the night. I'll come back and get you. So I'm like, cool, whatever. Still out of it. He takes me home. So I get out of my car at home. My mom's gone out of town. I don't know where she is. Keep that in mind. So I go try to get in my house, and I'm outside of my house for like 10 minutes trying to get my key into the door, but I can't get the key into the door. I can't. I keep missing it. Eventually, I get the key in the door, and I go in my house and I look in the mirror, and I'm seeing myself in the mirror, and I'm just like, man, I start to really get spoken to by dark presences. As I'm looking in this mirror, I'm hearing things like, Miles, you're worthless. Like, look at what you're doing right now. And I'm literally hearing these voices. It's like, Miles, look at what you're doing right now. Like, you're a failure. Like, you had all of these goals and dreams and they're over. They're done. Why are you still even here? And I'm looking at myself in this mirror and I'm like, I can't do this. So I go downstairs and I have a dog back home. I got a dog here too, but my dog follows me everywhere, right? But my dog didn't follow me downstairs on this particular night. So that was strange to me because I'm like, my dog always follows me. But I go in my basement. And as I'm sitting there, these dark thoughts continue to just pour into me. And then they start to get even darker. You know, I start to hear things like, yeah, your future's done. You're not benefiting or adding to anyone in your life. You're suspended. You're probably about to fail your semester. You're worthless. You need to just give up. Like, and in that moment, I'm like, you know what? Like, I really am a failure. I really have lost out on everything. You don't see all the things that you have to be happy for in a
Yeah.
moment like
Mm-hmm.
this.
Yeah, you don't.
You know, so really, I'm like, you know what? This world probably would just be better off if I weren't here. Like, you know, I don't really want to live. My life sucks. That's what I felt like at the time. So I'm like, mind you, I'm a grown man. Like at that time, I'm probably 20. So I curl up in a ball and I'm just bawling my eyes out. Like I'm crying like a baby. Like I'm talking about I'm wailing. Like I don't want to be here. My life sucks. I have all of these presences on me. And I'm also at the same time, I'm high as a kite. So it's it's just a horrible combination. And pretty much in the middle of just all of this, feeling swamped, feeling hopeless, feeling like I would just take my life if I had the opportunity, the craziest thing happens. So I'm sitting there curled up in a ball crying. It just feels like darkness. My eyes are closed. And instantly in a moment, I feel a hand placed onto my back. I feel a hand placed onto my back. And when I tell you that I felt a presence that was like nothing else I've ever felt in my entire life, that's what I felt in that moment. I felt a hand get placed on my back and it felt so healing. And it was Jesus. I know it was Jesus. And I didn't see him. I didn't see his face. He didn't even identify himself as Jesus, but he said, I'm with you. And in that moment, when I felt that presence, when I felt that hand, and when I said, I'm with you, he didn't need to say his name because I knew it was Jesus.
Dude.
And the moment instantly came to me a couple months back when I had that experience in my room. And it was crazy, guys, because I'm having all these depressive thoughts. I'm hearing all these evil spirits. And in that very moment, everything was gone. And I just knew, I said, wait, I'm okay. And my tears of pain, instantly in that moment, I started bawling my eyes out with tears of joy. Like it was insane. And watch this. I told you guys I was high as a kite. The second that I felt that hand, I completely sobered up. I
Bro,
completely sobered
that's
up.
crazy.
I completely sobered
That's
up.
crazy.
Yes. Like, mind you, I couldn't get my keys in the door. I was fumbling and bumbling down the stairs. I was out of it. In that moment, it was like I never did anything a day in my life. So I told you guys my mom was out of town. So I was just bawling my eyes out of tears of joy after feeling that presence of God. And in that moment, I said that, okay, I'm going to give my life to Jesus. I knew it right then and there. He's real. I knew it for sure now. So I go upstairs, and my mom, who was supposed to be out of town for some days, it's like midnight. She walks in my front door. And I'm like, Mom, what are you doing here? And I don't even remember exactly what she told me, but it was something to like something happened to where she came home. And literally, we just sat on the couch and we just talked about life. I didn't tell her anything that even just happened, but we just sat there and we talked about life. And ever since that night, my life has been complete 180. I like to say 360, but I guess that ends you up right where you were. But, you know, after that, my life forever has been changed and it will forever be changed.